What's up? Well, we're back. They let us out of prison. We had our last day yesterday, which was closing day, and it was full of all kinds of wonderful testimonies from the girls and what God has done for them and what God taught them while they were there. We did have, I know, at least 3 that had been involved in Wicca, practicing witchcraft. I know 2 of them got saved. Well, one got saved. One gave their heart back to Jesus, as she had met Jesus as a young age. And then another one yesterday had mentioned that after this weekend, she wanted to change from Wiccan to Christian, to a follower of Jesus. So we had some awesome things happening. Of course, the enemy tried to do his thing as well, and there was one incident where a couple of them got pulled to go back to their dorms, 2 of them from my table, and they were really getting a lot out of the weekend too. You could tell they were hungry, and God was speaking to them and doing a lot of things for them. And so we prayed while they were gone. The table prayed while they were gone, and one of them actually came back, and I believe she was the one that was really searching and looking for God and for answers, and God allowed her to come back. She came back. So the other girl had gotten into some things in the prison that she shouldn't have done, and so she had some repercussions with hers. But so I was so happy that she came back, because she was really searching and wanting to know God more. She's really trying to do right in there, and so God moved in that little girl's life, and they loved the cookies. I think I don't want cookies probably the rest of the year. I don't want to eat cookies the rest of the year. I ate a few while I was there. They were good. They were very good. But I think I'm done with cookies for a while. So, we had some talks. I gave one yesterday on walking in God's grace, and shared just a tiny portion of my testimony, a part that I don't normally go into when I share my testimony elsewhere. But the Lord had told me to speak about it, and know that they could relate to that. So and God was faithful in that as well. And I had a few testimonies people come up to me afterwards, and so that was great. We asked them why did they come, and a lot of them had heard about the cookies, and others were saying that they was searching for God, and wanted to know Him more and get to know God, and some of them kind of doubted the whole thing or questioned the whole program, but in the end they were blessed as well, and none of them wanted to leave. When we told them that it was the closing day, they were kind of sad about that. But so it was great. They really opened up to what God had to say this weekend, and really got involved. And we have them do activities, and they really got involved in those activities. And a lot of them that was sitting at the tables didn't really know each other well, so they built relationships there. And that's part of what Kairos does, is helps them build relationships amongst each other, because eventually we're going to leave, and they're still there, so they can know each other, and they see each other in the compound. They can hold themselves accountable to each other, and they made new friends. So that was very successful. I'm not going to say much about the prison food this time. There was 1 or 2 meals that was pretty good. I did like the spaghetti, and they had meatballs one day that was decent. The day they served hot dogs, there was no bun. and it was more like beef jerky. So I'm not sure what that was, but the girls at my table did warn us. So, but I tried to bite one and near about pulled the rest of my teeth out. So I just said, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I ended up eating a cookie. So, but God worked all that out. Anyway, so I'm not big on their food, but I'm not better than they are either. And I'm just a servant of the Lord, and I went in and I was on their level, tried to be on their level, just so they wouldn't think that I thought I was better than they are. But outside of that, though, we had a great time, a very powerful time. Saturday night, I believe it was Saturday night, we did the forgiveness ceremony, and I was able to, as a clergy, help with that. And what they did was they took a piece of rice paper and they wrote out names of people they felt they needed to forgive. And just about every one of them put on there they needed to forgive themselves. And I know at least the ones at my table, every one of them stated they had done that. When they came up, they would put it in water and it would dissolve. And that's how Jesus forgives us. You can't see it anymore. You can't get it back anymore. And so we were trying to show them that when God forgives, He forgives. He doesn't try to bring it back. And so we taught them about forgiveness, and I really think that's the first step of healing, is learning to forgive, even if you don't want to forgive. Because I know with my testimony, the first thing God told me to do when I got free was to go forgive the ones who had offended me and hurt me. And I kind of argued with God, did you know what they did to me? And God's like, yeah, but forgive them anyway. So I was able to pray with every one of the girls that came up to me, and one of the girls who was a former Wiccan came up to me, and I was able to pray with her and pray protection over her, and just continue to encourage her to get involved in the services there. So the devil lost some people this weekend, and I'm excited about that. Hell lost another one, because they are free. But we had a great weekend. The fellowship with the other ladies, the volunteers, was wonderful, and kind of bittersweet when we left, because I know a lot of them. I actually got to see some of the girls that was at my table last year, the residents there. They had graduated last year when I went back in May, and they were serving as angels, and the angels are the ones that they pretty much serve the new residents, and bring out the cookies and bring out the lunch and behind the scene things. And I saw, if you may remember last year, me talking about a young lady that she was actually, we're assigned a person, to kind of take with when they first come in, and mine was there. The girl that I had sponsored last year was there, and she had the thing on her head. She was considering Muslim. However, during that service there, she got saved, and she still wore that thing for a while. And then this weekend when I come in, I didn't even recognize her because she didn't have it on. She's taking it off. So God's doing great things in those girls. I saw another young lady at my table and got to speak with her, and her she runs a business, and ran a business. Her family runs it right now until she gets out, and she's actually she does a landscaping business, so she's actually there doing horticulture, and she's looking into expanding her business when she gets out. So she's getting skills right now so that when she gets out, she'll have something else to offer through her business. So God's doing great things, and they're very active with the follow-ups and all the little things that come. They do a reunion, and I think it's once a month, and they do prayer and shares on certain days. And so I haven't been able to go to any of those because it's 3.5 hours away. So, but I always encourage them to go. But with that being said, it was a great weekend. We want to thank you for all the cookies, all the prayers, and your love and encouragement. And this is nothing on us. This is all God. It's all beyond what I can do myself. It's all God. But you actually were a part of this, from the prayers, the cookies, the drawings, and everything else you did to help this make possible. So I'm going to try and go again next year in the spring, and if they don't have it, I may get involved with Kairos Outside, and that is for females of people who are incarcerated, have like family members, a mom, a sister, or they may have at one time been incarcerated and got out and never got to attend a Kairos. It's more or less a broken ladies ministry, and so I've been through it as a person, as a not a volunteer, but as if an inmate had sponsored me years back to go through it. And so they do have one of those in the fall. So if we don't do a spring one next year, I may actually look into doing that. So because I know God healed me, He restored me, and He can heal and restore others as well. So I will get out of here, but I just wanted to thank y'all once more for all you did to make it possible, and your reward is coming also. You will be rewarded for that, because you were there just as much as I was. I was just physically there, the hands and feet, nothing else. So with that being said, remember, God loves you, and I do too.